In other countries, when you see the word sport next to a car's name, it usually means performance upgrades. Here in the Philippines, especially in the case of SUVs, it usually means lots of black accents. Case in point, the Ford Everest Sport. So unlike the Australian Everest Sport, this does not come with a V6. It still comes with the same 2-liter single-turbo engine as the lower variants, but it does come with a lot of black accents. It sells for 2.1 million pesos, and it has a spec sheet that's unique to itself. Is it worth your money? Let's find out. So a lot of people rag on the Everest for being American, as if that's a bad thing. What they don't realize is that the Everest is not built in the US, it's not designed in the US, and it's not even sold in the US. Like a lot of other PPVs in the Philippines, the Everest is built in Thailand. And it's designed in good old Australia, mate. Feel like busting my Australian accent now. So on the outside, the Everest Sport has been completely dechromed and blacked out. All the chrome accents have been blacked out. The grille on the titanium variants, this is in chrome. Here it's finished in gloss black. You also have these gloss black bits over here. And that faux skip plate over there is finished in gloss black. You get the same 20-inch wheels as the Everest titanium, but you guessed it, they are finished in gloss black. The side mirrors are in gloss black. The door openers, the roof rack is in black. You also get this black sport badging over here. You get this black air vent on the fender. And that over there is an actual air vent. It helps extract hot air coming from the engine bay to help cool the engine. This has the same C-clamp LED headlamps as the lower variants. So only the top of the line bi-turbo titanium 4x4 comes with the Matrix adaptive LED headlamps. This color is called Blue Lightning and it's exclusive to the Sport variant. And I think this color goes very well with the black accents. The Everest Sport is the only variant that comes with this Everest badging on the hood, which I think makes the car look even more imposing. The Everest Sport looks imposing from every angle. From this angle, you can clearly see how the 20-inch wheels fill the wheel wells quite nicely. By the way, the new Everest has bigger wheel wells than the previous model. So you can fit bigger wheels and tires on the new Everest. So this is the biggest SUV in its class by a huge margin. So here are the dimensions. For comparison, I'm 5'8" and it towers a couple of inches over me. Here at the back, the Everest Sport looks the same as the titanium, except that you get this blacked out sport badge over here. You got LED tail lamps. All variants of the Everest, except for the base model, come with the power liftgate. So cargo space here is the same as the other variants. You don't get the power folding third row seats of the top of the line titanium 4x4. To fold the seats, you have to do it manually, like so. The Ford Everest Sport supports Ford Pass, which is an app on your phone which allows you to do things like lock or unlock your vehicle, start it remotely, like so. It's taking a while. There you go. It started. Horn and lights. There you go. Oops, sorry about that. Okay. You can also see your fuel gauge, your range. You can also see your oil life. You can actually see the health of your oil through this app. Currently it's at 63%, so we still have a bit of life remaining on our oil. And if your car ever gets stolen, this can also allow you to track the vehicle. So in Australia, the Everest Sport comes with a V6. Here in the Philippines, we get the same 2-liter single-turbo engine as the lower variants. So only the top of the line titanium 4x4 comes with a different engine. So that one comes with a 2-liter bi-turbo engine which puts out 210 horsepower and 500 Newton meters of torque. This one comes with 170 horsepower and 405 Newton meters of torque. So this looks almost the same as the interior of the lower priced Limited, except that you get these leather wrapped seats with sport badging. These are exclusive to the Sport variant. Both front seats are power adjustable and they both get adjustable lumbar support. The dashboard looks almost the same as the Limited. Like the Limited, this also gets a 10.5-inch vertical screen. This gets wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. You also get a reverse camera with active guidelines. You get dual zone climate control, and thankfully you get knobs and buttons for adjusting the temperature and also the fan speed. You also get a physical volume knob over here. You get a wireless phone charger. You get one USB-A port and one USB-C port. You have the same 8.5-inch instrument cluster as the Limited. The steering wheel is leather wrapped, it tilts and it also telescopes. You also get buttons for your cruise control. Now this comes with regular cruise control. Only the top of the line titanium 4x4 comes with adaptive cruise control and ADAS. You have an electronic parking brake with auto hold, but the auto hold button is on the screen. You don't get a physical auto hold button. Storage is plentiful inside the Everest. You have dual glove boxes over here, one at the top and one at the bottom. Now I just wish that this was dampened so it doesn't bounce like that. You also get plenty of storage underneath the armrest. I can store my camera equipment in here, and you also get one 12-volt outlet. You have a total of 4 cup holders here at the front, 2 right next to the shifter, and you also have one next to each side aircon vent. You also have this oddly specific French fries holder over here. You have an icon there which says French fries. So perhaps it's an homage to the vehicle's American roots. The only thing lacking here is a burger holder, and that would complete the American look of this interior. The entire door siding is covered in soft touch materials and leather. This over here is leather wrapped. This is soft padded. This is leather wrapped over here. This part of the dashboard is soft padded. Also this, but the top is made of hard plastic. It is very thick plastic though. Listen to that. I'm just not a fan of this center console over here. A bit too plasticky for my taste. But yeah, overall it's a very nice looking interior and one of the nicest ones in this class. Here at the back, space is quite generous. You have quite a bit of legroom over here. Headroom is also quite good. You have a foldable armrest with 2 cup holders. And over here you get a fan speed control knob. You get one USB-C port and one USB-A port. Your aircon vents are up here. So this is almost the same as the Limited variant. If you move up to the titanium 4x2, you also get an AC power outlet over here. Now to get to the third row, just pull on this and push the seat forward. Now one thing that I have to note about the third row of the Everest is that you have this huge hump over here for your wheel well, and that eats a bit of room for your feet. And as you can see, my feet barely have any room here. Yeah, actually there's very little room for my feet. I have to put one foot over here. The second row seats can be moved forward and back if you need more leg room. Okay, headroom is okay. I have about an inch of headroom. You get one 12-volt outlet over here, one cup holder over here, and also on this side, and you also get aircon vents up here. No matter which variant of the Everest you get, whether you go for the Trend or the titanium 4x4, you get the best riding SUV in its class. It's the most refined. The engine is very quiet. You can barely hear the diesel clatter. And the ride is also very good. It's almost like you're driving a crossover. This also has the lightest steering in its class. Now I know a lot of us old school car guys prefer heavier hydraulic steering, but this does have its perks, especially if you're in the city or if you have to park the car. It's very easy to steer the car. You can see I can do it with one finger. It's not as light as the previous Everest though. What is he doing? It's not as light as the previous Everest though, and it does get stiffer as you increase your speed. This has the most quiet cabin in its class by a significant margin. So moving from this to one of its competitors, you really do hear the difference, and you feel it as well. NVH is very good. You don't feel a lot of vibrations inside the cabin. I've spent a lot of time with the Everest now, not just the Sport, but also the Titanium 4x4, the Titanium 4x2, and the Trend. But every time I drove the Everest, I was alone in the car or I was with Bethel. This time, I drove it all the way to Batangas, and I managed to haul 3 other content creators with me, whom you may already know. Here's what they think about the Everest. Hi guys, I'm here with
RM,
riding in tandem. Elaine, riding in tandem.
Wes, Bear Beach Motoring.
Guys, anong tingin niyo sa Ford Everest?
Ako nagustuhan ko, pinakagusto ko dito kasi yung screen, laging gamit na gamit ko yan. 10.1-inch screen, 10.5-inch screen. Tapos kita-kita niyo yung maps using Waze, and may Apple CarPlay, Android Auto.
ako ang pinaka nagustuhan ko kasi dito talaga yung diesel motor niya na napakalakas. Tapos sobrang comfortable nung ride. Siyempre yan yung hanap ko pag malayo ang biyahe kagaya natin ngayon. So hindi sasakit yung katawan mo sa biyahe.
So
me, I like the fact that I'm not driving. No, but on a serious note, I think the Ford Everest is a notch higher than the competition in terms of refinement.
Definitely.
The NVH is just top notch. You hardly hear the wind noise, the road noise, and the ride is really comfortable.
So there you go. 4 different opinions from 4 different car reviewers in one video. And all of us agree on the same points. Despite the Everest Sport having the less powerful 2-liter single turbo, it is no slouch. It has enough power for spirited driving, even with 4 people on board. It actually feels the same whether I'm alone or with 3 other passengers. And the fuel economy is also barely affected. I got 17 kpl on the highway and 10 in the city with 4 of us on board, which is about the same as when I was driving alone. I do wish that it came with ADAS though. Adaptive cruise control would have made the trip to Batangas a lot less tiring. The Ford Everest Sport sells for 2,109,000 pesos. That's 90,000 pesos more expensive than the Limited, and for that price difference, you get bigger 20-inch wheels instead of 18s, an auto-dimming rear view mirror, and blacked out accents. It sells for 90,000 pesos less than the Titanium 4x2, and for that price difference, you give up the panoramic sunroof, you get a smaller 10.5-inch screen instead of 12, and you lose the ambient lighting and a 230-volt power outlet. Now, is this the right variant for you? A lot of this would boil down to preference and budget. At its price, I wish it came with ADAS because some of its competitors do come with it. But whichever variant of the Everest you go for, whether it's the base model or the Sport, you get the best riding, the most quiet, and the most refined PPV in its class. And if those things matter to you a lot, you don't care about ADAS, and you really, really like the blacked out look, then this might be the variant for you.